What's going on, guys? You just gotta delay that what as long as possible. That's how the pros do it. It's your boy Kraken. We're back for another video. Today we're gonna be talking a little bit about noobs and what not to do as a noob on the airsoft battlefield. I've been through the whole noob thing. I think I've made it out twice, actually. I got into airsoft when I was younger, was a total noob, and then I stopped for a little while, and now I'm back. So I was a noob twice, which is pretty rare. Not everyone's a noob twice, but somehow your boy managed. So let me teach you a thing or two. And one thing to get out of the way right away is if you guys are taking the time to watch a video like this, that tells me you guys are excited about this and you're not going to be a noob for long. If you're watching my videos, if you're watching other people's videos, you have nothing to worry about. You're gonna get over that learning curve so quickly, and you're putting the initiative out there, and you're gonna be good. Don't you worry about a thing. Now, I've always been interested in guns and firearms and war, all that stuff, ever since I was a kid. So that did help not being as much of a noob. Definitely video games help too. I'm sure pretty well everyone who plays airsoft and wants to get more into it has played, you know, Call of Duty, Battlefield, all those games at one point or another. So you know how to operate a gun. And that's my first point, is you need to know how to operate a gun. Now, nothing screams noob more than when you're on the battlefield and you have no clue what you're doing with a gun. And I have seen some ridiculous and hilarious things, let me tell you. The stock over the shoulder, like, who thought that was a good idea? I mean, now another thing real quick that happened more recently was I was at an airsoft match at an indoor field, and now the guy, all right, he probably didn't play video games and he didn't really know too much about guns growing up and that sort of thing, but he asked where the mag release was, which, I mean, I know it's not that newbie, but instantly I knew he was a noob. And, you know, so know where the mag release and fire selector and all that is on your gun before you go into the battlefield. That would be my biggest tip for everyone, is know the gun you're using. You don't have to know every gun, just know your gun. So next thing we can talk about is really gear as a whole and not rushing into buying anything. I've seen so many people rush into buying a gun that's a very nice gun, and it's their first gun. They've never used anything else, and they get out and they play with it once and never use it again. And to me, that's so sad. I would recommend going out to the field with nothing, if you can. If you're playing at an actual field, you should be able to do that because you can rent stuff. However, when I started, we were just playing in a local woods, so you did need a few things before you could start. But the investment doesn't have to be huge for your first time going out and playing airsoft. And definitely you can tell when people have prematurely over-invested into buying gear. I had a few friends growing up that, you know, they would go and buy a $400 gun for their first time out, and then I would make sure that you enjoy airsoft before you invest heavily into it. And I know it sounds weird. You're like, I'm gonna love airsoft. I know I'm gonna love it. And you totally probably will. But there's a chance you might not. Or something might come up and your life just gets busy and you can't get out there and play as much as you thought you would have. Also, just having all the gear right away, it just seems like it's missing something. Me personally, I add on one or two things kind of every time I go out, whether it's just a small little light or a new set of gloves or something like that. It can be something super simple, super small, but just every time you go out, just build that loadout, and eventually you get to the place where you don't need any more gear. And yeah, it's a super fun place to be. And another tip is just practice makes perfect. Honestly, it's the same with video games. It's the same with real life. Just running around the house with a mag out, obviously battery out, be safe, and just drill aiming onto things. Target acquisition is what it's actually called, and that is probably the best thing you can do to improve your airsoft game, is improving your target acquisition. One drill that I've been doing a fair amount is you can actually be turned around from what you're going to be aimed at. I can look behind me right now because I have a monitor here. So let's say you just pick an object. Let's try the globe. So I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna turn around and shoot that globe as quickly as possible. Now obviously I'm not actually shooting it, but I'm gonna turn around, pull up my gun, and get a perfect sight picture on that globe, and then I'm gonna pull the trigger, let's say twice. That's kind of a good number, is just, you know you're hitting it then. But don't pull that trigger until you're aimed on it. So you can have your gun down at your hip here, just in a ready position, and just go 3, 2, 1, turn around, and then there you go. That's literally it. You just get it in your sights, press that trigger, and just drill out a whole bunch. And believe it or not, it doesn't seem like that would help, but it definitely does. It just gets you faster at pulling up the gun, looking down, getting that perfect sight picture, and then pulling the trigger. This will really help when you're coming around corners, when you're not sure if there's someone around the corner, and you come around and just instantly something will catch your eye, and boom, you're already aimed on it, and believe me, it will help. Yeah, so just start with bigger objects and slowly work your way down to smaller objects. And one more little last kind of small tip is record your gameplay if you can. I've had GoPro cameras for years, and I've had the 2, the 4, and now I have the Max. Actually, I just got the Max, so I'm super excited to try that out for some gameplay footage. I hope I can bring it out this weekend. As soon as I started filming my gameplay, I noticed I was getting a lot better instantly, just with the camera on my head, because I knew I would want to show friends and stuff and post it to YouTube eventually. But yeah, you just feel like you're just a better player when you're recording yourself. But also you can put that on your computer after, put it on your phone, and you can watch your gameplay back and see what you were doing wrong, see what you could do better, see what you can improve on, and just so much more. I think that's just a really great tip to improve your game as a whole, and yeah, just be less of a noob. It's so easy to be a noob in Airsoft because there's so many things. Really appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much. It's a bit more of a chill video. I just got over a cold, so I'm still a little sick. Yeah, I just want to keep improving the quality of these videos and reaching a wider audience and just improving the Airsoft community as a whole. So I hope we can continue to do that. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.